Well, the road slate has been too kind to the Rockford Rivets so far this season. The Rivets are just 1-4 in their first 5 road games, but a chance at a record of 4-5 to try to salvage a tough split on the road before heading back home against the 6-3 Kenosha Kingfish. Welcome in, everybody, to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. I'm Andre Magaro. Happy you could join us here from Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Another tough one for the Rivets to open up the series last evening amidst blustery, windy, rainy conditions here at Simmons Field. The Rivets fell 7-5 after coming back to tie the game on 2 separate occasions. Just not enough gas in the tank when it came down towards the bottom of the pitching staff to get the job done. Rockford will look to rectify that tonight and salvage a split. Kyle Seebach, the starter on the mound for the Rivets, the left-hander out of Northern Illinois University, was stellar first time out, and he'll look, no doubt, to try to have some effectiveness on the bump tonight for JT Scarra and company. But first, the Rivets come to bat here at the top of the first inning against Luke Patzner, the starter making his second start of this summer for the Kenosha Kingfish. Before that, let's look through Rockford's lineup, see how they line up 1 through 9 for head coach JT Scarra. A .263 team batting average. That is 5th highest in the Northwoods League. Just 2 lefties in the lineup. Rest are all from the right side. It'll start with Ty Krittenberger hitting in the leadoff spot once again, playing center field for the Rivets. Luke Sefcik bat second. Then it's one of the 2 lefties, Dylan Robertson, will hit third. Matthew Mebin, Johannes Hawkinson, Trent Lawrence, your next 3. Mebin in the cleanup spot leads the Northwoods League in RBIs, still with 16 after not registering any a night ago. Second lefty is Julian Jimenez. He bats 7th. Owen Brock and Jake Bellata rounded out at 8th and 9th for the Rivets. Packed house at Simmons Field as the Kingfish take the field. We'll take a look at them defensively. The outfield, Parker Stinson out in left field, James McCoy in right. So same corner outfielders as a night ago. But a new rival for this Kenosha team, Anthony Mangano, is fresh out of Iowa, will play center field tonight for the Kenosha Kingfish. So apart from Mangano out in center, you have Josh Leslie at third base, Michael Dallas, a new insertion at shortstop, Ben Lloyd up the middle with him playing second base, Drake Westcott stays over at first. Williams back behind the dish to catch Luke Patzner, making his second start of this Northwoods League season. Patzner so far this season has pitched just once, Friday against Kokomo. He made the start. Went 4 1/3, gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts through 72 pitches Friday against the Jackrabbits. And he'll look to attack at this Rockford lineup. Did not register a hit last night after the 5th inning. The Rivets offense will look to get back on track here tonight. Kenosha in its home normal cream uniforms with the dark blue numbers blocks Kingfish across the chest outlined in red. The blue numbers at their left waist and also on the back. Green pants as well. Kingfish hats in navy blue with the white palette in front and the navy blue K. Red brims on those hats. Rockford, meanwhile, in its typical road graphite uniforms with the gold text, blocked numbers and lettering outlined in black, the black pinstripes on those graphite uniforms as well. The black Rivets cap with the alternate logo of the screw head for the side perspective on the front of those caps. Just about set to go here from Simmons Field. Ty Krittenberger will lead things off from the right side against the right-hander Patzner. 6'3", 220-pound redshirt sophomore from Urbandale, Iowa. Krittenberger last night stayed red hot in the box for the Rivets with one of their main producers. 13 for 33 this season. That's a .394 batting average towards the top of the Great Lakes East. Has 10 RBIs. And he's 7 for 15 on the road trip. Patzner will look exclusively out of the stretch. First base side of the rubber. Fastball low. Gets us started at 6:08 p.m. Eastern Time. So Krittenberger set in the righty box. 1-0 the count. Patzner kicks and deals a high left leg kick. This pitch is swung on, grounded to shortstop. Gobbled up from Dallas deep in the hole. Has plenty of time to throw across in time to retire Krittenberger. 1 away in the top of the first, and I'll bring up Lucas Sefcik with the bases empty. Patzner this season Pitched for Indiana State University in the collegiate ranks, Division I program. Made 14 appearances, 10 starts. 3-4 with an ERA just a shade under 5. Pitched over 61 innings, giving up 34 earned runs, just walking 12 batters, striking out 59. Opponents hit 263 against him. So another arm that's going to be in the zone against this Rockford offense. Next pitch to Sefcik is in there for a called strike straight across the zone, 0-1. Sefcik so far on the season, 9 for 37. That's a 243 average through 9 games, excuse me. 5 extra base hits, 8 RBIs. Fastball spiked in. That'll even the count at 1-1. Said weather-wise, a lot better than a night ago. Of course, yesterday was mostly mid to low 50s. There was rain at the beginning of the game. Thought maybe it would be delayed. Played through some showers after a downpour most of the day, and it was very soppy Simmons Field, particularly in the outfield grass and around the first base bag. And pitchers had trouble landing on the mound as well. There were multiple delays throughout the game. Sefcik takes low, 2-1. Multiple delays during the game. He dropped quick dry on the mound. Even had Kingfish pitching coach Steve Andretti come out there and dig a hole into his mound for his own pitchers to be able to land in. But through it all, got the game in. Today, much more picturesque. 75 degrees, sunny. Baked all over Simmons Field. A slight breeze as Sefcik lifts one towards right. Starting back and then coming in is McCoy. He'll make the catch from shallow right, 2 down. 2 down, nobody on here. Top of the first, still scoreless. Dylan Robertson will look to extend the frame for Rockford in their first ups against Patzner. Robertson, 1 of 2 lefties tonight in the lineup for JT Scara. He's 5 for his first 17 this season through 5 games. Picked up RBI number 2 last night, went 0 for 3, but was able to reach via walk-in hit by pitch. First pitch from Patzner, a late swing and a miss at a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Our umpire crew for this evening's contest, Paul Hess behind home plate, calls balls and strikes. Jack Berry rotates over to third, and Steve Hartenstein over at first base to complete the 3-man crew. 1 pitch served out towards center field. It's the new man, Mangano, that has it measured up for out number 3. So Rockford goes quietly. Robertson put a charge into it, but it's a 1-2-3 frame on just 8 pitches for Luke Patzner to sit down the Rivets in order. Kyle Seabach out on the mound. He'll face the Kenosha lineup when we come back scoreless throughout the frame here on the Rivets Radio Network. On the mound here to get things started in the bottom of the first inning. First, we met the Kingfish lineup 1 through 9 under their first-year manager, Sean McSheffrey, taking over in Kenosha this season. 230 team batting average for the Kingfish. And despite the lefty on the hill in Seabach, still 4 pure left-handed bats in McSheffrey's lineup Starts with Parker Stinson batting from the left side and leading off. Then it's switch hitter James McCoy, Northwoods League Player of the Night a night ago. And another lefty, Drake Westcott, hits third. Kevin Bushnell, a familiar name for Rivets fans, in the cleanup spot. Josh Leslie, the second of two back-to-back righties, hits fifth. Then another lefty in the new arriver, Anthony Mangano, manning center field tonight, batting sixth. Bottom third of Dallas and Williams, two right-handed bats, and then Ben Lloyd, the lefty, rounds it out at ninth against Kyle Seabach on the mound for his second start of the summer for the Rockford Rivets. Tall, lanky left-hander, 6'8", 220, starts the first pitch fastball that's lasered to left field. Charging on is Jimenez towards the foul line. He'll make the running catch to rob Stinson of extra bases to start us off here in the bottom of the first. First pitch ambush from Stinson. Trying to reach base. Seabach gave him a healthy fastball to hit, but Jimenez out in left able to track it down. He's accompanied by Ty Krittenberger in center, Johannes Hawkinson in right for the rest of that Rockford outfield. Matthew Mebin at third base, Jake Villada at shortstop, Luke Sefcik at second base, Trent Lawrence at first, Owen Brock doing the catching of Kyle Seabach. Here's the man with all the answers last night, James McCoy. We'll see him bat right-handed for the first time this series. The switch hitter takes strike one over the outside edge. McCoy, a .333 hitter this season, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, but a mammoth of a night in the series opener that Kenosha was able to take 7-5 a night ago. Seabach over the top delivery from the left-hander, a fastball, plenty of life on it that McCoy fouls back 0-2. McCoy actually broke his bat, hit that one off the end. No, he'll just have to go readjust his grip. Thought maybe he had gotten a piece of that one off the end of the bat, was looking for some new lumber, but we'll just put on some more pine tar and head back into the box. He's got to be feeling it right now. 4 for 4 last night, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. Also walked twice, reached base in all 6 plate appearances. Deep breath from Seabach, his head in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and away. Couldn't get him the chase. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, two on the way. Fastball fouled off again. Good fight from McCoy with 2 strikes. That one on the first base side. Seabach went 6 strong innings last Tuesday against the Kokomo Jackrabbits in Rockford's second game of the season over at Rivets Stadium. Allowed no runs on just 2 hits. Walked 2, struck out 8. He's going high and tight with another heater. And this one's spoiled by McCoy again towards the seats on the first base side. Seabach, primarily a 3-pitch mix. We go with the fastball, change-up, curveball. We've only seen heaters so far. 1-2 pitch. There's the breaking ball. It's tapped foul off the brick facing of the field level seating on the third base side. It spins back into play. Third base umpire Jack Barry will snag it there. One, two on the way. Upstairs, tried to go back with the curveball. Couldn't get to break at the letters, so now 2-2 to McCoy. Seabach, we mentioned his numbers for Northern Illinois. 7.30 ERA through 14 starts, but he has pitched effectively and been in the zone constantly so far in the Northwoods League. 2-2 fastball, swung on and missed for strike 3. Blew the heater by him. Sits low 90, then he overpowered McCoy with that heater. First strikeout for Seabach, 2 down here in the first. That must have been the key to retire James McCoy. Steady diet of heaters. That fastball gets on those righty bats quickly from Seabach. Working cross body. There's a lot of arm side run on the Seabach heater. First pitch to a lefty in Westcott is bounced off the plate. It's a fair ball. Westcott thought he had fouled it off his foot, so he just stayed in the batter's box. Brock came out to snare it from behind the plate and tagged him to end the inning. So 2 unassisted on the putout. Sean McSheffrey will be out to talk to the home plate umpire, Paul Hess, and it's a very brief conversation as him and Westcott head back to the Kingfish dugout. 1-2-3 frame for Kyle Seabach in the first on just 9 pitches, and we remain scoreless through 1. 4, 5, 6 to up for the Rivets after this here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Top of the second inning from Kenosha. Still scoreless between the Kingfish and the Rivets. 4, 5, 6 to up in the Rockford order. Matthew Mebin, Johannes Hawkins, and Brent Lawrence against Luke Hatzner. Neither starter was really able to break very much in that first inning. Just 8 pitches for Hatzner to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Seabach matched that with 9 in the bottom half of the first. So here's Mebin, righty on righty matchup. First pitch from Hatzner, a fastball, fouled straight back off the netting, 0-1. Mebin, 308 this season, 3 home runs, second in the Northwoods League, 16 RBIs, paces all hitters. 1 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts and a walk. 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. That was the real Achilles heel for Rockford in last night's game. They now lead the Northwoods League with 109 strikeouts through just 9 games. Murray continues to usurp the Rivets, and they've gone through these long spells in games not being able to put the ball in play. It stalled the offense at time. 0-2 from Mebin. Hit on the ground right side. Chasing over to get is the second baseman Lloyd. Westcott retreats to the bag, and he's able to hold the bag as the throw arrives in time to retire Mebin from first out of the frame. 4-3 on the putout. Field still has absorbed a lot of moisture in the last 24 hours. Was freshly watered before the game, and Mebin hit that one hard on the screws, but it wound up being just a hard hit ground ball that really died on the infield surface. It was easy for Lloyd to get over. 1 away, nobody on here. Top of the second, Johannes Hawkinson steps into the box. Hawkinson, 9 for 37 this season. Average is dipped down to 243. 8 RBIs to his name. First pitch from Hatzner. Fastball is swung on and missed. That's been the biggest key for Johannes in the recent slump, as he's been telling me. There's a lot of timing issues with some of these higher velocity arms. Hatzner certainly frustrating him there early in that AB. Another fastball. This time watches it well inside. 1-0. 1-1, excuse me. Hawkinson was 0 for 5 last night, 4 strikeouts. He's just 2 for 20 on this road trip with 12 punchouts. 1-1 pitch is laced towards center field, but it stays up for Mangano, who give way to McCoy in right center field to the second out. Either one could have gotten there. Hawkinson flies out to right, 2 outs now in the second. Bases empty for Trent Lawrence. For Lawrence, first action in a while. Last played Monday in Kokomo. First, he got the off day on Tuesday and then did not play in last night's game. 6 for 19. First pitch, fastball low and away. 1-0. Lawrence's 7th game of the season, 4 RBIs and a double. He went 1 for 4 with that double and 3 strikeouts against the Jackrabbits on Monday. He's 2 for 7 on the road trip. Hatzner's 1 out. Fastball, late swing and a miss. That's been what stalled this Rockford offense at times, especially towards the bottom of the lineup in recent games. Late swings on that plus velocity fastball. One ball, 1 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty, scoreless top of the second. Next pitch, there's a heater in on the hands of Lawrence, who checks to examine his bat to make sure it's still in one piece. Spins over towards the third base coach's box. Vinny Torre and Casa defers to the Kingfish dugout. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lawrence. Hatzner looking for another 1-2-3 frame. Kicks the 1-2 pitch. Fastball right off the outside edge. Williams liked the spot as he gestures towards his pitcher, trying to bring that one back up into the zone. But it's taken for a ball, 2-2. Lawrence has been another one of those Rockford bats towards the bottom of the lineup that's been good at driving up counts and grinding out at bats. He's choked up on the bat with 2 strikes, wiggling it off his right ear hole. The 2-2 bounces in. Williams can't get in front of it. It's to the backstop. Now the count's full. Patzner's primarily a three-pitch mix. He'll go fastball, slider, changeup. If you're trying to throw the off-speed to Lawrence here with 2 strikes, to see what he comes back with in a full count. And the pitch. Fastball, grounded foul, third base side. There's still some residue, if you'll call it that, from last night's showers. Puddles littered throughout the dirt area and down territory around the Kingfish dugout, as well up the Rockford side and surrounding the bullpens on the first base side. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll do it again on the payoff. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is just inside for ball 4. Nearly broke the slider back, but a good take from Lawrence. He's aboard with 2 outs. First base runner for the Rivets here in the second. Yeah. So the inning extended, and now Julian Jimenez steps into the left-handed batter's box. Jimenez looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 11 through 6 games. A bat from the left side. First pitch, fastballs over the outside edge, 0-1. Jimenez last played in the Sunday game of the Kokomo series. Went 0 for 3 at the plate with 3 strikeouts. He's struggled to maybe put the ball in play at times in his brief spell as a Rivet, but once again, another guy in the bottom of this lineup you can count on to get on base, extend innings, grind out at bats. See if that base hit comes here. Would be a time for it. 0-1 pitch. Fastball tight, 1-1. And I think a crucial part of this Rockford lineup to come up because, yeah, you have guys in Lawrence and Jimenez starting to get the pitch count up there. It's been free and easy for Patzner through the first 2 frames. And last thing you want early, first time through a lineup, a starter to stay in a groove. We'll check on Lawrence, who's back with a head-first dive. But now you've got guys like Lawrence, Jimenez that are going to be disciplined at the plate, not going to expand the zone too much, not going to be overly aggressive, and maybe if the contact rate isn't up there like it is for some other guys, they will grind out AB. So Jimenez, another late swing at a heater, 1-2. You saw Patzner try to get a little fancy with that breaking ball at the end of the count to Lawrence. But maybe would be wise to stick with the heater here. Jimenez has been tardy twice. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is a called strike 3. Right over the outside edge, it freezes Jimenez. First strikeout for Patzner, who's through 2 scoreless. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. We played an inning and a half, still scoreless between the Rivets and the Kingfish. Here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back here at Simmons Field, For the bottom of the second inning, Rivets and Kingfish still scoreless. Kyle Seabach back on the mound for inning number 2 of work, the starter out of Northern Illinois. Just a 9-pitch bottom of the first inning to retire Kenosha 1-2-3. Kenosha scored in nearly every frame of last night's contest, all but 2, in fact, for the Kingfish in their 7-5 victory. We're 5-6 to up for the Fish in this inning. Kevin Bushnell, the DH, leads it off in the righty batter's box against Kyle Seabach, the southpaw on the mound. First pitch fastball tickles the outside edge of the zone for strike 1. This is Bushnell's first action of the series against his former Northwoods League employer. Bushnell was a Rivet last season briefly for JT Scarra and company. Grounds one here to shortstop. Bellata gets behind it, kicks off his right shoulder. He struggles to get the throw, but it's not in time. Will go down as an E6. Hard hit ground ball in the hole. Bellata just had to kick up on him at the last minute and was unable to recover in time. Bushnell beats it out and is aboard to start the second. So from a former Rivet to a long-time Kingfish name, it's Josh Leslie into the box with the leadoff man aboard here in the second. Seabach, a deep breath, looking back the runner. He'll kick home. Fastball over the outside edge, taken for a called strike to Leslie. It's Leslie's third season for the Kingfish. Made his season debut last night, 0 for 4 with a walk. 0-1 pitch is given a ride towards center field. Prittenberger started in, now drifts back, and off his back shoulder makes the catch in straightaway center field. So Leslie retired, Bushnell back to first, 1 away here in the second. The Kenosha native will jog back into the Kingfish dugout on the third base side. And another newer face, Anthony Mangano, into the lefty box. Mangano, this is his first stint in the Northwoods League with the Kingfish, but a new arrival in the form of this season. 6 foot tall, 185-pound sophomore outfielder. Native of Illinois, plays his college ball at Iowa. Seabach will miss the zone outside with a heater, 1-0 to Mangano. Played in 32 games this season for the Hawkeyes, started 12 of them, 14 for 60 at the plate. That's a .233 average. Seabach's next pitch, fastball elevated foul on the third base side. Count even now at a ball and a strike. This is Mangano's first action starting since May 3rd against Illinois State. Was mostly used as a bat off the bench for the Hawkeyes from the back end of the regular season, and then they're running the conference tournament. Seabach's next delivery, swing and a miss at a changeup, 1-2. His last hit came all the way back on May 1st, a pinch hit single against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Was 0 for 7 to end the season with the Hawkeyes. Trying to avoid the same fate here in the Northwoods League. 1-2 pitch, fastball just off the outside edge. Good take, 2-2. Not too much of a stolen base threat over on first in Bushnell. Lawrence holds him on. The 2-2 pitch grounded to second. This could be 2. Sefcik over to Bellata for 1. His throw and the relay is not in time. But the lead runner raced in Bushnell. Mangano beats it out on a fielder's choice. 4-6 on the putout, and now 2 down here in the second. Just a hair late on the relay from Bellata. Sefcik took his time waiting back on it at second base. But I think the safe play in the end for the Rivets. We've seen them make some mistakes in the middle infield in the early stages of this season, trying to force those double plays. Didn't have the quickest base runners in Bushnell and Mangano, but they took their time and made sure they got the lead out to keep the pressure off their starter in Seabach. 2 down, just a runner on first. Michael Dallas's first appearance of the series in the righty box. Seabach is instead going to pick back towards first, and they caught the runner in a rundown. Throw to second is in time. Bellata lays the tag down on Mangano, who went with the face-first dive. So with a pickoff move from Kyle Seabach, works wonders, and the Rivets get out of the second unscathed. For Kenosha in the inning, no runs, no hits. There was a Rockford error, and nobody left on base. We played two in Kenosha, still scoreless between the Kingfish and the Rivets. We'll step aside here on the Rivets Radio Network. Scoreless through two from Simmons Field. Neither starter blinking or giving an inch in the early phases of this road trip finale for the Rockford Rivets here in Kenosha against the Kingfish. 8-9-1, 2 up in the Rivets lineup. Brock Bellata and Crittenberger. Base starter Luke Patzner, who's remained efficient with his pitch count first couple of innings, I should say, out there. Just 26 through 2 innings. Has allowed no hits, walked one, and struck out one. And a really nice pickoff move last inning for Kyle Seabach. Pick off the speedy base runner and Mangano, who is trying to steal himself into scoring position with 2 outs. The lefty has a long delivery to home plate. Pitching coach Tyler Fletcher figured that the Kingfish would maybe try to take advantage on the base paths, but a plus kickoff move from the lefty. Get out of that last situation unscathed. That'll certainly be a battle to watch as tonight goes on. So now the 8-hole man leads it off for Rockford. Owen Brock steps into the right-handed batter's box against the right-hander Patzner. Brock's another Rivet, much like Jimenez, who precedes him in the lineup, still looking for hit number 1 on the season. Through 4 games, he's 0 for 8, but he has been opportunistic when it's come to reaching base. 6 walks, has reached on an error a couple of times this season. On base percentage around .430, which is something you'll definitely take out of your 8-hole man. Brock raises the bat high, rotates it off his right ear flap on that black helmet. First pitch from Patzner, fastball straight down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Patzner showing signs of extreme success in the early going. Allowed 11 earned runs in his last 15 innings of the season at Indiana State, but has settled into the Northwoods League nicely. Mentioned his start against Kokomo last time out. Only 3 earned runs allowed in 4 1/3, but really only 1 inning that got away from him. And that was the second. Other than that, it only allowed a 1 hit and 2 base runners to the Jackrabbits in his outing. Fastball to Brock taken for a called strike 1 and 2 to count. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, fastball, fisted in off the hands towards shallow right. It'll fall behind Lloyd into shallow right field for a base hit. Big cheers from the Rockford dugout. It's their first hit and the first hit of the season for Owen Brock as he finally gets one to fall aboard to start the 3rd inning. So a situation here for the 9-hole man, Jake Bellata. One of the more consistent bats for this Rockford team in the lineup, a 370 average. First pitch low for ball one. Bellata's 10 for his first 27, 2 RBIs. On base percentage in excess of 500. Has reached in 16 of his 33 plate appearances in the early going. And what be one of his last games here in a Rivets uniform tonight. Looking to make an impact. We'll check back to Brock at first. To have deceptive speed for a catcher. Brock swiped 13 bags on 16 attempts at Milwaukee Tech this past season. One pitch of the fastball over the outside edge, 1-2. Bellata looks to battle back in the count here. He was the only Rivet not to strike out last night. Talked about the prominency from this Kenosha pitching staff. Bellata went 0 for 3 with a walk. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back as the fastball is up and in. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Jake Bellata. He's hit well on this road trip. Hits in 6 of 8 games so far this season. 2 of them on this road trip with multiple hits. Of course, the 3-hit finale in Kokomo. He'll show bunt again. This time it's popped foul over towards the Rivets dugout, and it's 2-2. It's not something we've seen a lot from Rockford. And even trying to put it into practice, let alone execution, the small ball. Been a lot of situations for the Rivets to bunt. They've gotten a lot of guys on base. On base percentage is top 4 in the Northwoods League. Haven't been trying to bunt a lot of guys over. Bellata got the sign there after taking the first strike. Was unable to get it down. Now a 2-2 count. The pitch from Patzner on the way. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Blew the heater by him again. That's 2 strikeouts for Patzner, and he'll lead the way to the top of the order here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. So here's Krittenberger. 0 for 1 today with a ground ball to the shortstop. Back at the top of the 1st inning to start the game. Off the first base side, a bluff steal from Brock as the fastball is north of the letters. Start Krittenberger out 1-0. That was a much closer pitch than it might have appeared off the bat, but Williams had to come out of his crouch to pluck that baseball with Brock on the bluff steal. That might have taken a potential strike away from Patzner. They'll get Krittenberger ahead in the count. They'll look back at first. Brock's back safely with a head first eye. Yesterday, Krittenberger reached base 4 times. 1 for 2 with 3 walks. He's been locked in at the plate throughout this road trip and throughout this season so far. He's 7 for 15, now 7 for 16 on the road trip after that ground out to start the game. Krittenberger saying, knows they have to attack him. They don't want to walk him and give him the opportunity to swipe bags. So he's just been patient, trying to not overcomplicate things at the plate and wait on his pitch. Gets one there. He likes 2-0. Bloops it towards center field. Diving catch on the run from Dallas, who gets up, throws the first in time to double up Brock. Was a broken bat blooper up the middle, and Dallas ran out of nowhere behind the second base bag from shortstop to make the catch and then flip and throw all the way to Westcott over at the first base bag to double off Brock, who was caught in no man's land. The ball looked like it was going to drop, but instead it's an inning-ending double play. The unconventional P6-3 to retire the side. Still scoreless through 2.5 here at Simmons Field. You're listening to Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the third inning from Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Still scoreless between the Kingfish and the Rockford Rivets. Bottom third of the Kenosha lineup coming to the dish against starter Kyle Seabach to go for inning number 3. Just 18 pitches for Seabach through his first 2 innings of work. He has been in cruise control so far. Michael Dallas steps into the box. It's his second time seeing Seabach, as there was a play on the base paths in the last half inning. Seabach elevates a fastball that swung on a miss from Dallas, 0-1. But Anthony Mangano, who hustled out a double play ball to reach on a fielder's choice in the last half inning, attempted to steal. Seabach got the pickoff move over to first base and proceeded to catch him in a rundown where he was dug out at second by the shortstop Malata. So Dallas gets a second life at the plate. Seabach peppers another fastball past him, barely getting a piece on the swing and fouling it off to the right-hand side. It's 0-2. Seabach throwing his pitches with a lot of conviction here early, particularly the fastball. Very active getting ahead of hitters. The 0-2 is a called strike 3. The changeup that runs away on the lefty bat. It freezes Dallas. Second strikeout for Seabach. 1 away here in the third. Really good execution from Seabach. Dallas overwhelmed from the start, and now Gage Williams steps into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch swinging, fastball, backhanded stop from Sefcik at second, ranging over to his right. His throw is in time. Really good play from Luke Sefcik. That one looked like it had eyes for right field, but it kicked off the dirt, lost some pace, and Sefcik, back almost behind the second base bag, makes the backhanded stop and a strong throw to Lawrence at first. Williams retired. And it gives Seabach a chance to get back in the dugout quickly again. Just 4 pitches for the first 2 outs. Ben Lloyd, the last hope here in the third for the Kingfish. First pitch, breaking ball over the outside edge, a called strike 1. Lefty on lefty matchup for Lloyd, who's just 4 for his first 24. Another Kenosha native at the bottom of this Kingfish lineup. Seabach just below the knees with the fastball. Counts 1-1. Lloyd last night 0 for 2, did walk 3 times. 1-1's on the way, swung on, chopped foul towards the seats over the netting. On those seats, but it gets its way onto the concourse. And nobody's worse for wear. 1-2. Last night, 15 walks for the Rivets to Kingfish hitters. Starter Ryan Green had 5 of them. It's still early, but I don't know if Kyle Seabach's going to stay on that same trajectory. 1-2 pitch. Fastball tights, fouled off to the left. Talking to pitching coach Tyler Fletcher this morning. Said some of that probably came down to the weather. We talk about both sides having a lot of walks, but there were too many non-competitive ABs from these Rivets arms. That has not been the case for Seabach. 1-2's a call, strike 3. Fastball over the outside edge is paint, and it sits down Lloyd looking. 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts for Seabach. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Scoreless through 3. We go on our merry way from Simmons Field, and we'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. To the top of the fourth from Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Nothing to separate Rockford and Kenosha. Kingfish and the Rivets still tied up at 0 as we had second time through the order. Neither starter has blinked so far. While Kenosha's end, Luke Patzner has been excellent through his first 3 innings of work, allowing only 1 hit, 1 walk, striking out 2. And then Kyle Seabach continues to be on another level for the Rockford Rivets. After 6 scoreless in his first start in the Northwoods League this season, he threw 3 scoreless now, struck out 3, including 2 looking at the bottom third of the Kenosha lineup, the bottom half of the last inning. Retired the first 9 in order, and now the Rivets offense trying to get back to work. Second time through the order has been a real key moment for this Rockford offense in the early portion of this season. They have 2, 3, 4 due up in this frame: Sefcik, Robertson, and Nevin. Sefcik set to step into the righty box. He's 0 for 1 today, a fly ball to right field back in the first inning. Middle infielder out of Central Michigan. He'll twirl the bat head a couple times, have it come to rest on his right shoulder. Patzner, 5'11", 180-pound arm on the bump. First pitch, fastball high. The Indiana State Sycamore, back step on the bump, works exclusively out of the stretch first base side. Will pump the ball back into his glove before firing home. A fastball low to Sefcik, 2-0. Hitters count here to Sefcik. We'll see if he lets it rip. High leg kick in the pitch. Fastball was just below the kneecaps. Looked like it was over the heart of the plate. Sefcik takes for 3-0. There's 4 walks this season through 9 games for Sefcik. We're 1 pitch away from reaching on the free pass here. And he does get a no contest ball 4 low and away. So a 4-pitch walk starts off the 4th inning for Patzner. It's his second walk. And a leadoff base runner for the Rivets here in the 4th. Patzner, somebody not used to missing out of the zone. Only walked more than 2 in an outing once all season for Indiana State. Remember, pitched over 60 innings for the Sycamores, over 10 starts. Patzner did walk 3 in his Northwoods League debut against Kokomo back on Friday. See what Robertson can do here, 0 for 1. The sharp hit fly ball to center field first time up. Left-handed bat against the right-handed arm. He'll check on the runner in Sefcik, who's back standing at first base. And Sefcik, not an incredible stolen base threat. He's 2 for 2 on the summer. See if he puts himself into motion here early. Westcott's holding him on. Middle infielder's back to turn 2. Third baseman creeping in on the cutout. That's Leslie. Robertson sees the fastball high, and the first 5 out of the zone in this inning for Patzner. Leslie's off the line at third. Lots of batting practice working opposite field for Robertson before this game. There's a hole on the left side of the infield with the shortstop Dallas pinched up the middle. Next pitch is a heater. Patzner finally finds his own right over the outside edge, called strike 1. Outfield pretty much straight away for the Kingfish. Much more sunny day today at Simmons Field than the rain-soaked series opener between these two teams. The sun glistens off the third base side and currently coats the players throughout the Simmons Field playing surface. Patzner is high with a fastball, counts 2-1. Shadows beginning to descend from the stands, but they've only reached the foul territory on the third base side. Not quite in the field of play yet. 2-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Robertson yanked off of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a big swing from the Missouri State commit. Trying to do some damage down the line. See if he battles here now with 2 strikes.
Your RBI leader, Matthew Mebin, waits on deck. And first, they'll check on Sefcik. Sefcik's lead off of first base can't be more than a step and a half. He's back standing on every single one of these checks. Patzner, not the fastest move off the mound either. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Nobody out here on top of the fourth, scoreless between the Kingfish and the Rivets. Leadoff walk to Luke Sefcik. Leads off the first base bag. Patzner peers over at him, now gets his sign. Righty deals the pitch. 2-2, fastball well outside. Williams had to emerge from his crouch to snare it out of the righty batter's box, and the count rides cool. There's only one 3-ball count before this inning, but back-to-back to start the fourth for Patzner. Still no sense of urgency in the Kingfish bullpen. The Sycamore has had plenty of long outings in the spring season, 6 of them that went at least 4 innings. His longest coming in a complete game against Robertson's Missouri State back on May 1st. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Robertson, frustrated, going back to the dugout. Nosey chased ball 4. That was off the outside edge and flailed the bat head out, going down swinging. 3rd strikeout for Patzner, 1 away here in the 4th. It was good sequencing for Patzner, 1 away for Matthew Mebin. Mebin grounded out to second base. To lead off the second inning, he's 0 for 1. First pitch to him, devastating breaking ball. Mebin went fishing after it, 0-1 to count. And the scouting report's starting to get out on Matthew Mebin, who had a very hot first few weeks here in the Northwoods League, and still is objectively very hot hitter, still over 300, still the leading RBI producer, 3 home runs. But he loves to go after those breaking balls, and it's been a steady diet of them early in counts so far this series. Another check on Sefcik, who's back standing. Mebin's a big breaking ball hitter, though. Hit that mistake from Adam Wheaton a long way in Kalamazoo. Also homered off the breaking ball on opening day, the grand slam he hit against Kokomo. 0-1 pitch. There's another breaking ball. Spins it down the line, foul into the Kingfish pen with third base side. Back-to-back curveballs from Patzner. That one got a little too much of the plate, but Mebin was just out in front of it. Mebin has a closed-off stance from the right-handed batter's box. Squared off towards right center field. Mangano trying to overcompensate for that in center. He's a couple steps towards right field as the 0-2 pitch comes in. Went back to the breaking ball. This time bounced in. Mebin won't chase. The count's 1-2. Good block from Williams. Sefcik just jogged back to the first base bag. 1-2 the count. Another check on Sefcik. Patzner is not too eager to allow Rockford to get active on the base paths. Of course, the Rivets did have their way on the base paths when they got runners on last night via the 10 Kingfish walks. Ty Crittenberger himself had 3 swiped bags. Maybe thinking that's the way that Rockford's going to try to micromanage some offense here. 1-2 on the way. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Williams. Mebin checked his swing. The count's 2-2. That check wasn't too close. Not even a peel down from Williams. Mebin will rest the bat on his right shoulder. Stands straight up in the righty box. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. This time he went around on the check swing. Was all off speed from Patzner, and he got the better of Mebin on that occasion. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down now in the 4th, and the 4th K for Patzner. That pitch was right over the heart of the plate, but it ducked down low towards the plate at the last moment, and Mebin couldn't hold up on the swing. Runner still on first for Johannes Hawkinson. 0-for-1 today, fly ball into right field. His first time up. Hawkinson looking to break out of the big-time slump, just 2 for his last 21. First pitch to him, fastball off the plate. Hawkinson, of course, started the season red hot. The third-year Northwoods League player was 7 for his first 13. Talking to him today, trying to get back to that approach. He's just trying to get his timing down for some of this plus velocity. He said he doesn't see 90 plus all that often at Concordia University of Wisconsin, where he plays his college ball. And once he started seeing that increased velocity with regularity, just trying to get it down. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball that doesn't break. Forces Hawkinson to contort his body out of the way of the righty box and leave the count on a ball and a strike. Pardon me, that's a 2-ball, no strike count. Sepsic not getting too aggressive off the first base bag, but there's the fastball to make it 2-1. Beautifully over the outside end. Hawkinson hasn't been doing it consistently with the bat, but he has been a plus defender. A diving catch in right field last night with ducks on the pond for the Kingfish prevented them from getting a run across back in the middle innings of that ball game when it was tied at the time. 2-1 pitches away. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Hawkinson, who's had a disciplined eye in the same game. Could be difficult to have patience when you're slumping, but Hawkinson has demonstrated that really well here so far in this AB. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Moves back to the off speed. Hawkinson buckles his knees as it drops over the outside edge. The even count, rather, make it full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. 20 pitches in the inning for Patster, who was in cruise control leading into that. But he's looking to strike out the side after the leadoff walk. 3-2 in the pitch. It's high, ball 4. Instead, it's the second walk of the inning for Patzner, and Sefcik will make the jog to second base. 2 on with 2 out on the third walk of the outing for Patzner. And this is about the point where he started to struggle in his last outing against Kokomo, at least when Kenosha started leaning on that bullpen a little more. So pitching coach Steve Andrade makes his way out for the first mound visit of the evening, and all of a sudden, we're seeing some bodies not starting to throw, but getting up, getting some water, taking their sweatshirts off over the Kingfish bullpen. This could be just a settle you in, get you out of the inning. You got Trent Lawrence, who was another walk victim back in the second inning. Was the third of those 3 walks, in addition to the 2 in this frame for Patzner. You got the bottom of the lineup then after that doesn't get on base very much in Jimenez, Brock, and Bellata. Bellata's been a plus hitter, but the other 3 guys, Lawrence, Jimenez, and Brock, have all been slumping as of late. So get back in the strike zone. Might be able to find your way out of this frame, and maybe that's the message from Andrade. To his right-hander, who dangles down the right arm, glove pinned to his left back. He stares down. It's all overarching presence of Trent Lawrence in the righty box. Looks back the runner at second, not being held on in Sefcik, and then pumps the first pitch. Fastball well inside. Lawrence is 6'4", 220. He towers in the right-handed batter's box. Second baseman Lloyd now creeps in towards the second base bag. Couple of glove taps. He'll now retreat into the hole. 1-0 pitch is elevated foul behind home plate. Lawrence has been a good situational hitter this year for the Rivets. 4 RBIs, primarily out of the 8 hole. He has 2 sacrifices on the season. Obviously, in a 2-out situation, not what you're looking for, but he has a couple of 2-out RBIs to his name as well this season, contributing towards those 4. Hassler ready with the 1-1. The breaking ball is swung on and missed from Lawrence, who dropped down to a knee as that pitch started over the middle of the plate and then dropped away from the right-handed bat. Lots of movement on that breaking ball that gets Lawrence down to 2 strikes. The solid battle of 2 strikes in the first AB. He's choked on the bat. 1-2 is the count. Been a lot of good blocks from Gage Williams behind the dish as well to keep the runners at bay. And plenty of off-speed pitches in this inning. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is swung on and missed. He got him. Hit high and tight with the heat, and the changing of the eye level got Lawrence to swing. Patster strikes out the side in the fourth at Rockford. These two stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. Still scoreless through 3.5 from Civic Field. The Kingfish will send the top of it one up. It's through against Kyle C. Carol Lourdes. Radio Network. Well, after a back and forth affair last night at Simmons Field, a bit of a pitcher's duel developing in the early stages of this one. Kyle Simba is 3 first out through the Kingfish line at the top of the order. Here at the bottom end of the fourth inning for Kenosha, so 0-0 between the Rivets and the Kingfish. Parker Stinson swung at the first pitch he saw to lead off the bottom of the first. He swings again first pitch, fouling it off the mask of catcher Owen Brock. 0-1 the count. Stinson hit a ball sharply to left the other way. The lefty bat challenged Julian Jimenez out in left field, who's able to track it down along the foul line. McCoy and West the other 2 scheduled hitters in the inning. An open stance for Stinson in the lefty box against the southpaw Seabach. Breaking ball devastating over the outside edge, but it just misses outside, even it down. Seabach's curveball, a plus off-speed pitch to these lefty bats, has also worked the changeup really well to righties when he's needed to. 1-1 pitch, fastball is just over the inside black. Home plate umpire Paul Hess gives it the finger wag, and it's a 1-2 count. Seabach set to go quickly on the mound. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball went to go for the outside corner. Couldn't quite catch the call, and the count's even at 2-2. He's changing the eye level of hitters is Seabach, trying to have some success. Kingfish have stayed disciplined up there with 2 strikes, trying to ride up that pitch count. It's been a lot of efficiency for Seabach in the early going. 2-2 pitch. Fastball low, goes to the backstop, and just like that, the first 3-ball count of the evening for the left-hander from Northern Illinois. Payoff's on the way, deep breath. High leg kick in the overarching 3-2 is popped up, foul. Seats behind home plate. Seabach is about to throw pitch number 35 of this outing here in the fourth. Deep breath in the pitch. Rope down the right field line, foul into the seats. Good two-strike fight here from Stinson. Seabach's been blowing that fastball right by hitters, but the Kingfish trying to make that adjustment second time through. The outfielder hit .253 this spring for Indiana State. And he'll fight off a curveball this time off the facing of the field level seating. The first base side. Count stays at 3-2. Stinson's been pesky atop of the Kingfish lineup. 3 for 6 a night ago. Has 3 multi-hit games in his last 4. He's been locked in at the dish since arriving in Kenosha. Payoff pitch. Swung on a mile-high pop-up to right field. It's shallow, though. Hawkinson comes jogging in from right field. Now off to his right. That one got lost in the wind. Brief wind blowing right to left here at Simmons Field, but Hawkinson makes the catch for out number 1. For Seabach wins a 9-pitch battle to start the inning and bring up the hottest hitter on the field right now in James McCoy. McCoy was retired for the first time this series in 7 plate appearances. In the first inning, he struck out swinging against Seabach in a 2-2 count. 4 for 4 a night ago, reached base 6 times. The first pitch to him, fastball in the lefty batter box. The switch hitter bats from the right side against Seabach. It is up at the count, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. That's the changeup that darts inside underneath the bat path of hitters. McCoy flailed and missed. Counts 1-1. One on the way. Fastball just high. The count 2-1. No wonder where Kenosha gets all these Kentucky Wildcat bats. Last summer, of course, they had Kirk Liebert, who was towards the top of the Northwoods League rankings in just about every statistical offensive category. 2-2 pitch. This time the breaking ball does cut up at the letters, and the count's quickly 2-2. But you get Liebert, who had an all-star performance in the Northwoods League last summer. But didn't see any action for Kentucky prior to that. Then you got McCoy as well, who also didn't play his freshman season, and he's come in and made the Northwoods League quite his own. Seabach looking to nibble with the curveball that time backdoor, but it's off the plate and the count's full. Second time through, patience seems to be the approach for Kingfish and their manager, Sean McSheffrey. Starting to elevate that pitch count. The 3-2 is low and inside, taken off the shoe tops of McCoy for ball 4. So it's a walk for Seabach and a 1-out base runner for Kenosha. Just their second base runner of the game after Bushnell reached on an error back in the second. Bushnell heads into the on-deck circle as Drake Westcott comes to the plate here with 1 away. Point out, reached base 7 times in this series. He's up to 10 walks, and this is his 9th game of the Northwoods League campaign. He's got speed to burn on the base paths. Already an aggressive lead off of Seabach, who's slow to home plate. The first pitch to Westcott is flared foul into the stands on the third base side. 0-1 to count. Westcott in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. Hit one off of home plate. Was then tagged out by catcher Owen Brock after thinking it was a foul ball and staying in the box. Seabach comes back with a fastball, and it's 0-2 as in the swing and miss. Oh, 2 pitch and on the ground towards shortstop. Balada's got it on to second for 1. Relay from Sepsic on the shortstop. Can't be picked out by Lawrence. Regardless, Westcott looked to have beaten it out on the fielder's choice. So he'll stay on first base. McCoy erased on the 6-4 foot out. 2 down here in the 4th. Two outs and runner on first for Bushnell. 0 for 1, reached on an error back in the second. The big frame as Seabach gets him with the breaking ball starting out and swinging a miss 0-1. Bushnell talked about his Rivets heritage. He hit 280 in 21 games for the Rivets last summer. Had one home run. It was right here at Simmons Field against the Kingfish. Also 8 RBIs. Fouls off the fastball here to go down 0-2. Was talking to a lot of his Rockford teammates from last season upon their arrival here at Simmons Field. Said that the power numbers have been down this year. Still no extra base hits for him, and that generated some chuckles and some thumbs up from the Rockford pitching staff upon hearing that. But everybody was in good spirits. Fastball high is foul back, still 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first, still scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th. Seabach looking to put up another 0. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. He got him. Bushnell down on strike swinging. 4th strikeout for Seabach, who threw 4 scoreless here in Kenosha. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Still 0-0 as we head to the 5th here on the Rivets Radio Network. The pitcher's duel persists at Simmons Field, still scoreless heading to the 5th inning between Rockford and Kenosha. Bottom third of the Rivets lineup scheduled to hit against Patzner. Leading off is Julian Jimenez, one of 5 strikeout victims through the first 4 for Patzner. First pitch fastball, another late swing and a miss. So 0-1 to Jimenez. It's going to be hard to fancy Patzner going off of that fastball. It's been overwhelming to a lot of these Rivet hitters. Jimenez is already choked up on the bat here in an 0-1 count. It's another heater and pulling off the baseball again. A swing and a miss from Jimenez. He's been late on the swing, and the point of his bat's been a little off, pulling his head off the baseball. Be shocked to see anything other than a heater here from Patzner, who's only allowed 1 hit through the first 4 innings. Pumps the ball back into his glove. The pitch. Fastball swung on a miss. He got him. 3 straight swings and misses from Jimenez. Strikeout number 6 from Patzner. 1 away here in the 5th. One down for Owen Brock. Got his first hit of the Northwoods League season last time up, a blooper that fell in right center field. It's got to feel good for Brock. He's had good at-bats, hit the ball hard at times, just hasn't gotten him the fall yet. Patzner starts him off with something soft over the middle of the plate for strike 1. Patzner getting ahead of another hitter in Brock. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, low and away, taken for 1-1. Going to the curveball more, second time through the order as he's continued to go through this outing. There's double barrel action in the Kingfish bullpen, so as he continues to stretch a guy like Patzner out, maybe getting to the end of his line first 2 times through the order, we'll have to see. Certainly some deeper counts put up by these Rivets bats as Brock takes a fastball high, 2-1. But he's looked really good second time through as well. He has 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2. There have been deeper counts, but it's resulted in less balls put in play. And therefore, less stress on the arm. Fastball low and away to Rock, 3-1. I think based on how he pitches to Brock and Bellata, Sean McSheffrey's got a decision ahead of him whether he wants to let Patzner, despite maybe getting some fatigue in his arm, face the Rivets a 3rd time through. 3-1 count. Pitch number 70 is low for ball 4. So Brock reaches base twice here in the ballgame. 4th walk for Patzner. It's the most he's seen in an outing this season, whether it be via school or summer ball team here in Kenosha. He's trudging around the mound as it looks like Sean McSheffrey's not playing around. He's going to come out and make an immediate call to the bullpen before Jake Bellata can step up. So it's 4 1/3 from Luke Patzner tonight, and pretty remarkable 4 1/3 at that, allowing just 1 hit. He did walk 4, struck out 6. The runner on first, still his responsibility. We'll step aside when we come back. The name and the numbers on the new Kingfish arm when we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. You're warm on the mound for the Kingfish in relief of Luke Patzner. It's Tyler McLaren, hard throwing right-hander, 6'2", 175-pound sophomore from Saginaw Valley State. Set to make his 3rd appearance of the Northwoods League season through the first 2. 5.14 ERA. He's pitched 7 innings, gone 1-0, allowing 4 earned runs on 9 hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Last pitch Sunday in Battle Creek, where he went 3 1/3, giving up 3 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. The key to his name is length, and that's something that this Kingfish bullpen is going to need out of him. He's a lanky right-hander with a tough over-the-top delivery. His first pitch is a fastball low to Jake Bellata. Bellata retired on strikes back in the 2nd inning, was one of 6 strikeout victims of Luke Patzner, whose day is done, still responsible for that runner on first off the walk in Brock. McLaren's high leg kick and delivery, fastball fouled back, and the count's even. But this is a Kingfish side. Used 5 of its better arms last night to get that opening win against Rockford in this series. Now they're going to look for some depth out of the bullpen, and particularly somebody probably to go and bridge a few innings in this game, still only in the 5th. And going to need that from Patzner. Next pitch is a fastball on the outside end. Brock goes to throw down to second into plenty of time. Didn't quite see the jump that he got out of the corner of my eye, but Brock was very late getting the second base bag after he took off. There was a seed for Williams, And he's caught stealing, erased, out at second base. On top of that, the pitch was a called strike. 1-2 to Bellata. The 1-2 pitch is a curveball popped up. It'll reach his seats right side. Bellata stays alive. Freeland, Michigan native in McLaren. Pitched a lot of innings for Saginaw Valley State this past season. Started 9 games and pitched an even 50 innings. A 1-2, another breaking ball, tap back to the mound on one hop. McLaren has it. He'll shovel to first. And that will retire the side here in the 5th. So far, so good. Getting out of that jam. 2/3 of scoreless baseball from McLaren. We played 4.5, still scoreless in Kenosha. We'll be right back. On the Rivets Radio Network. Kyle Seabach still cruising through 4 innings of work here in the 5th. Set to face 5, 6, 7 in the Kenosha lineup. The Kingfish and the Rivets remain scoreless here from historic Simmons Field. Seabach get to allow a hit to Kenosha for strikeouts. Picking time through this Kingfish lineup. Leslie flew out to center field his last time up. First pitch from the lefty to the right-handed bat is a fastball over the outside edge for strike 1. Leslie and his experience with the Kingfish has helped him with success at the community college level as he takes low 1-1. During a trip to the Division I level, played for McNeese State this past season. 39 games for the Cowboys, hit .331, was first team all-conference, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. He's definitely somebody that you could have seen matured throughout his Northwoods League tenure. Seabach comes back with the off-speed, a change-up away, 1-2. Leslie had 20 multi-hit games for the Cowboys, was consistent in that lineup. Still looking for his first hit here of the season for the Kingfish. The 1-2 is roped down the left field line into the seats. It goes foul. And that ball was hooking. Off the bat, looked like it could have been trouble into that short left field porch corner at 314, but just got out in front of it. Rare mistake here from Seabach in the outing, but he lives to see another day. We'll stay at 1-2 strikes. Leadoff batter in the 5th of a scoreless contest here in Kenosha. In the pitch. Breaking ball. Seabach started to strut across the mound. He went with the curveball, but it was just above the letters. 2-2. Was looking for strikeout number 5. He'll have to wait on that occasion. Deep breath in the 2-2. Fastball grounded foul towards the Kingfish dugout. Put the busted back in on the hands of Leslie. Impressive bat speed getting around on that one. Deli's trying to time up that fastball. Might open the door to the off speed here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff man here in the 5th. Seabach peers in. The 2-2. Fastball on the outside. Black a call. It's strike 3. Froze Leslie after busting him inside. There's your 5th strikeout. 1 down now in the 5th. So 1 out, nobody on. Anthony Mangano, your batter. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat of the season. Shows bunt. Seabach's curveball will tuck underneath the bat path for strike 1. Mangano looking to find some way to strike some life into this Kingfish offense. That's the ball low and away, 1-1. This Kingfish team we already talked about last night hasn't quite hit its stride offensively yet. It was a deadly lineup a season ago that just missed the Northwoods League playoffs by 1 game. This season so far, just hitting .230 as a team. They do have that extra base pop to exist, and looking for guys like Mangano that try to figure it out towards the bottom of their lineup. Seabach breaks the curveball back, and it's quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes. So I'm beginning to set here in Kenosha. Shadows have cast over various parts of the infield here at Simmons Field. Just right and center field, the only part not engulfed in shadows right now. The 1-2 pitch is fastball away, 2-2. Mangano, 6 walks, 29 strikeouts this spring at Iowa. He'll find himself in a full count here after the fastball is north. So a full count for Seabach. Here's the 3-2. Just north of the letters with the fastball. It's the second walk for Seabach and a 1-out base runner here for Kenosha. Mangano's done his job in his debut, reaching twice in his first 2 ABs. So here's Dallas. Struck out looking, first time up. Pitch is swung on, fouled off. It'll reach the trees just beyond the property line here at Simmons Field, off to the right side, 0-1. Mangano was caught stealing last time. He was picked off from Seabach. We'll see if he's in motion here. Base runners have been at a premium for both teams. Does have an aggressive lead off first base, being held on by Lawrence. The 0-1. Fastball fouled back off the netting, 0-2. Seabach getting ahead of another hitter. He'll check on the runner at first. Mangano back with the head first dive. Infield set a double play depth. Won't go on the 0-2. Seabach tried to paint the outside edge. This changeup, but it's just off the plate. Deep breath from Seabach before the 1-2. Fastball bounce back toward the mound. This could be 2. Seabach fields his position on the second for 1. Ballada's relays up the line, not in time. Kicks off the facing. Lawrence catches him in no man's land, and now he's hung up. Dallas didn't commit either way. Now running back to first base. He's in there safely. And now it looks like everybody's safe. They never called the runner out at second. And now Mangano actually is out. He's going to head back to the dugout. He stayed on the second base bag, and now Bellata might even look like he's talking to the umpire about interference. He's pointing to his leg. Talking to Steve Bartelstein. The appeal's not going to be heard, but he was upset that Mangano had stayed on the bag and caused the errant throw. Either way, they had Dallas dead to rights between first and second base, and they were just unable to put the tag on him. Lawrence ran it back to the first base bag. Dallas was hung up, and a miscommunication on the throw allows him to get back to first base safely. So a runner on first for Gage Williams. Fielder's choice will be how Dallas reaches. So no error on the play. Williams 0 for 1, grounding out the second his first time up. Dallas playing cat and mouse off the first base bag. He was headed back to first base when Seabach dealt home. The 1-0 pitch is fouled off towards the Kingfish dugout, 1-1. We'll check on the runner who was already retreating towards first. Dallas is a stolen base threat. He has 2 of them. He's 2 for 2 so far this summer. But he'll take off here. First movement from Seabach, and he'll be able to take it standing up. And that's the issue you run into with this battery that Kenosha is finally able to take advantage of in this game, is Dallas is into scoring position. Seabach might be a lefty, but he is extremely long with that high leg kick at the 6'8 frame to get to home plate. And with no slide step movement, it's easy to swipe bags on him if you get good jumps like that, especially with Brock, who doesn't have the strongest arm behind home plate. The 2-1 pitch finds the outside corner, 2-2. Hasn't been able to have been exposed because Kenosha just hasn't had a lot of base running opportunities. But Dallas is in scoring position if Williams can find a way to get the Kingfish's first hit of the night. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They'll pull off of the mound, throw back to second base with a head first dive. Dallas's bat. There was nobody covering the bag when Seabach stepped off. That allowed Dallas, who was about halfway to third base, be able to retreat and get back before a tag was applied. Nobody holding on the runner. We're with 2 outs. Now Sefcik will creep in from second. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Changeup darted underneath the bat path of Williams, who's down on strikes. 6th strikeout for Seabach through 5 scoreless innings here from Kenosha. It'll be the top of the Rivets lineup, 3rd time through, trying to get the offense started. Still scoreless through 5 from Simmons Field on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the sixth inning from Kenosha, still scoreless. Rivets and Kingfish, top of the Rockford lineup, set to come in. Tyler McLaren will stay on for relief. Pitch the final 2/3 of an inning into the fifth after starter Luke Patzner exited off the walk. The last half frame to Owen Brock, who was caught stealing before Bellata tapped back to the mound. Top of the order in Crittenberger, who's 0 for 2 today. 2 balls hit to shortstop. He'll take low for ball 1. Rare 0 for so far tonight for Ty Crittenberger. Now, McLaren, a fastball over the outside edge, makes it 1-1. Seabach's pitch counts continue to climb, now in excess of 70, but there's still nobody up in the Rockford pen. Crittenberger, dribbler down the line, third base side. It'll hook foul just before going over the bag, and a relief for Kenosha as Leslie was unable to get to that ball before it hopped over the third base bag. So 1-2 to Crittenberger. He'll jog back to home plate, pick up his bat head. Seabach 72 pitches to be exact via the official scoring. Take a look around the rest of the Great Lakes East after the 1-2 here to Ty Crittenberger. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. The pitch was in the dirt, blocked by Williams, who throws down the first to complete the strikeout of Crittenberger. So what do I hear in the 6th? Look at the rest of the Great Lakes East. In Traverse City, the Pittsbitters and the Growlers locked in a good one in the bottom of the 7th. They're tied up at 4. Final in 7 innings, part of a doubleheader at C.O. Brown Stadium after the rainout yesterday. Battle Creek, another win. They take down the Kokomo Jackrabbits 8-3. So Battle Creek 7-2 in the early phase of the season. First pitch floats into Luke Sefcik, who's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Breaking ball from McLaren, snapped for a called strike. Battle Creek and Kokomo in the back half of that doubleheader. They're tied at 1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Sefcik fouls off a breaking ball. First base side towards the seats. He's down in the count quickly 0-2. So your current Great Lakes East standing sees Battle Creek at 7-2. That means Kenosha cannot tie them tonight. Kalamazoo and Rockford are both 4-5. Kokomo is 3-6 along with Traverse City as Sefcik elevates one down the right field line. It hooks into the Rivets bullpen foul. Still 0-2. Should Traverse City beat Kalamazoo, they'll be tied with a record of 4-6. That'll give Rockford an opportunity with a win tonight to move up to 500 and 3rd place in the Great Lakes East before they welcome Kalamazoo this weekend to Rivets Stadium. We'll finally be back on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. My partner, Jack McGrath, 0-2. Off speed, low and away. Williams liked the spot, but Sefcik couldn't chase. Counts 1-2. And that curveball for McLaren beginning to work to these right-handed bats. 1-2 pitch. This one's a hanger. It's scalded towards center field, but it hangs up for Mangano, who had it played well. Straight away in center field. Sefcik retired on the F8, 2 outs in the 6th. Elsewhere in the league, Wisconsin Rapids, red hot, winners of 8 straight. They're up 5-1 against the Woodchucks on the road. The Eau Claire Express lead the Mud Puppies 2-0 in the 4th. Madison and Lakeshore, led by the same score of 2-0. Duluth going for win at number 6 in a row. They trail Waterloo at home 2-0. Mankato 3-0 up on the road in Rochester. That game in the 3rd inning. Fond du Lac 1-0 lead at home against the Green Bay Rockers as the first pitch to Dylan Robertson in the dirt to the backstop 1-0. Robertson's 0 for 2 tonight. He flew out to center field, also struck out swinging back in the 4th. To complete the Northwoods League scoreboard, Bismarck and St. Cloud against the Rocks, who have yet to lose this season. They're scoreless in the 2nd. La Crosse and Wilmer also scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. So 3rd time through the lineup, this Rockford offense still been kept intact. Just 1 hit for the Rivets so far. Robertson takes off the plate 1-1. The later you get into this game, the more you feel like every run Everyone's always critical in a baseball game, but it puts a microscope under the team that scores first. Robertson hits the 2-0 pitch the other way. In between third and shortstop, it creeps into left field. There's base hit number 2 on the day for the Rivets as Robertson's aboard with 2 outs. Was their first hit since Brock's blooper back in the second. And a 2-out base runner for Rockford will see he's in motion here. But Matthew Mebin is stepping into the righty batter's box. McLaren first pitch fastball. That's laced right back up the middle. That's the diving second baseman in Lloyd for a base hit. Back-to-back singles. Mebin obliterated that baseball up the middle on a line. So 2 on now for the Rivets. They're in business here with 2 outs in the 6th. Ducks on the pond with 2 outs for Johannes Hawkinson. And if there was ever a time for Hawkinson to come out of this slump he's currently riding on this road trip, it might be right now. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk, just 2 hits and 21 at-bats on the road trip. First pitch from McLaren, the breaking ball's away, 1-0. Hawkinson has been opportunistic this season, 8 RBIs in 9 games. Rockford is a team, one of the better Northwoods League teams with runners in scoring position, hitting .270. McLaren shrugging at the home plate umpire, asking where that missed. His curveball was off the plate for 2-0. Paul Hess not giving an inch as he tried to break in front door on Hawkinson. So now a hitter's count for the experienced man out of Concordia, Wisconsin. 2-0 fastball. Hawkinson looking to do some damage, a swing and a miss. His head was looking out at the Bambino down the left field line. The count's 2-1. Good bounce back pitch from McLaren. Robertson off second, Mebin off first. A 2-1 pitch, bouncing ball foul down the first base line. 2-2. Offense has been hard to come by in this game, but back-to-back singles for the Rivets with 2 outs. Opportunity for Hawkinson to drive in the game's first run. McLaren set at the belt, looks back the runner, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball top back out towards the mound. McLaren off the mound with it. To his left, he'll shovel it. The first baseman, Westcott, retire Hawkinson and the side. For Rockford, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. They miss a golden opportunity to break the first run across. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th after this here on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th from Kenosha, 9-1-2, due up for the Kingfish. Seabach still on the mound for the Rivets, and still a scoreless ball game in the back end of this 2-game road series.
It's the 6th of 6 straight on the road for the Rockford Rivets before they return home this weekend to play Kalamazoo, trying to salvage a 2-4 record and the second straight split on the road. First pitch, Lloyd shows bunt. It's straight back to the mound, and it's snared by Seabach. With his 6'8" frame, just had to take one long stride forward to snare the line drive belt high. Lloyd retired for the first out of the 6th on one pitch. So now Parker Stinson comes to the plate. Stinson's had 2 of the best at-bats for the Kingfish in this game so far. Sharply flown out to both left and right. First pitch from Seabach to his opposing lefty is bounced in for ball 1. Pulled off the fastball with plenty of arm side run. One 0 the count. In the bottom of the 6th, the pitch. Fastball at sight. Stinson was showing no desire to get out of the way as it brushed just parallel to his cream home uniform below the belt. Instead, 2 balls and no strikes. Seabach towers over top in the graphite road uniforms for the Rivets. Hitters count comes up empty on the curveball, 2-1. Stinson trying to do some serious damage on that 2-0 hack. Already has 1 home run this season, 3 of them just over 30 games for Indiana State. The 2-1. Fastball bounced in again, just to the left of Brock. So it's 3-1. Three 3-ball counts. This will be number 4 for Seabach. Deep breath in the 3-1. Tapper up the third base side, foul. Count goes to 3-2. So the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Still scoreless in Kenosha. Seabach still on the mound. 6 strikeouts to his name to just 2 walks. The payoff is grounded on the right side. Sefcik gets around on it. Scrambles it amongst his paraphernalia. Throws the first. It's not in time. It'll look like it's an infield single for Parker Stinson. Sefcik was able to get around on the baseball, but as he tried to transfer it from his glove to his hand, just got caught up in his jersey. Certainly not an error. And an infield hit for Stinson. Third time through the order, Kingfish have their first hit. That, I think, the correct decision. So now, all of a sudden, Seabach, he's had to go out of the stretch a couple times today, but now you've got that added stress of the base running game for this Kenosha team. Stinson's 4 for 6 swiping bags already this summer. He's active on the base pass. Seabach has a long move to first as he'll kick and deliver to McCoy, who swings and misses at a first pitch changeup. So 0-1 to McCoy. He struck out and walked already today. Sometimes all it takes is one. Your hottest batter in the box right now for the Kingfish. Deep breath. He'll stare back the runner at first. Then kick home with the 0-1. Breaking balls straight over the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 to McCoy. No balls and 2 strikes to McCoy. Here's the pitch. Tried to get him to chase again at the off speed. It's in the dirt, blocked by Brock, so no advancement from the runner. 1-2 the count. Drake Westcott waits on deck. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Seabach's most effective outing of the spring came in 8 innings against Akron on March 18th, where he allowed just 3 earned runs in 8 innings and struck out 5 on no walks. The 1-2 pitch is elevated foul.
The average length of his start this season for the Huskies was just over 5 1/3, where he currently resides. We'll have to see. The third time through the order is an Achilles heel again for Seabach in an instance like this. 1-2 pitch. Fastball high, 2-2. You also have to keep in mind the Northwoods League pitch count limitations. This next pitch will be number 85 for Seabach. It's 100, you can't start a new inning. 110, can't start a new batter. 2-2's fouled back, and McCoy is doing his part to run up that pitch count. Every at-bat has been a really deep count to James McCoy so far in this game. He's done his part even without matching his efficiency from a night ago with 4 hits and 4 RBIs to run up that pitch count. They'll throw back to first, and they have the runner picked off, but Lawrence drops the baseball. Error on the first baseman, Lawrence, allows Stinson to get into scoring position with 1 out. They had him dead to rights at second base. But on Seabach's throw over, Lawrence just doesn't secure the ball over at first. It's the second error for the Rivets in this game. This is now the 4th game of this 6-game road trip where Rockford's had multiple errors. They have the 3rd most errors now in the Northwoods League at 15. It's been sloppy at times. The 2-2, a one-hopper back to the mound. They'll go to third with the runner taking off. The tag is in time to get him. Heads up play, Kyle Seabach immediately threw over to Mebane at third, who laid down the tag on Stinson. Erased. 1-5 on the putout, 2 outs, with McCoy going to first on the fielder's choice. Seabach with a really heads-up play, coming off the mound to field his position. That's an easier throw for the lefty to make. His body language was already angled at third base, and he saw out of the corner of his eye, with the runner taking off on contact, able to cut down the lead runner and make things a lot easier now with 2 outs. McCoy will lead off first. Drake Westcott, 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice. Also rounded out off the plate to catcher Owen Brock in the first. He takes outside for ball 1. Not very aggressive a lead at all for McCoy with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. His fastball just out of the zone once more, 2-0. Starting to see some arms get loose in that Rockford bullpen. Next pitch is on the way. Outside again. Seabach beating it up to that 100 pitch mark. This could be his last inning of work. Three balls and no strikes. Yeah, Kevin Bushnell on deck. Right-handed bat with a lot of pop. The 3-0 is out of the zone. Westcott wasn't even sure where that missed. He was going to twirl his bat towards the Kingfish dugout and head down to first base. So 2 base runners on here with 2 outs in the 6th. We'll see how long the leash is. Tyler Fletcher went down towards the Rivets bullpen in motion to see how ready Zach Kempe is, the arm warming up for the Rivets. It doesn't look like he's set yet. So Bushnell is going to face the lefty Seabach a 3rd time. Plenty of pop in his bat. Now manager JT Scarra comes out for a mound conference, and this might be what Kempe needs to continue to get ready here. So Scarra will come out, talk to Seabach. Could be a little stall time for Kempe to get a little more ready here. We'll Seabach around the 90-pitch plateau. Bushnell, the pop. The bat with a lot of pop in the cleanup spot for that Kingfish lineup. Has no extra base hits this season, but does have a home run at Simmons for the Rivets last summer. So Scarra breaks off the mound. Could just be a scouting report on Bushnell. Obviously knows him very well. Kempe having a little issue with control down the right field line in the Rivets bullpen. Has thrown a couple back towards the backstop. Rockford off to pluck that baseball out of the field of play before Bushnell can hit. He's 0 for 2 today, reached on an error in the second, also struck out in the fourth. First pitch to him is grounded towards shortstop. Bellata has it up the middle. He'll go the short way to second for one, and that will retire the side. That ends the inning. Kenosha gets their first hit, but nobody reaches base. Rather, nobody crosses the plate afterwards, and we stay tied up through 6 innings. No runs on a hit. There were an error, and 2 men left on base. Played 6 at Simmons Field, so nothing to separate Rockford and Kenosha. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the 7th from Simmons Field. Tyler McLaren still out on the mound for the Kingfish. He'll face 6, 7, 8 in the Rockford lineup. Lawrence, Jimenez, and Brock. Third time through. McLaren has been the reliever that Kenosha's needed in this one. We're still scoreless here in the top of the 7th inning. An inning and 2/3 scoreless has allowed a couple of Rivets to hit, back-to-back hits in the 6th inning, but they were both left stranded after Hawkinson grounded out. YMCA dance wrapping up here at Simmons Field. Crowd back into the game after Kenosha got its first hit of the game in the last half inning against Kyle Seabach, who is in excess of 90 pitches. Night may be over with Zach Kempe continuing to get loose into that Rivets bullpen. So Lawrence today 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. He's down 0-1 to the count. Next pitch from McLaren snaps the breaking ball low. So it'll be 1-1 to Lawrence. Deep breath, high leg kick, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is a call to strike 2. Home plate umpire ripped the pages as if it was a called strike 3 from Paul Hess, and even Lawrence looked over a little baffled, but he quickly corrects himself, and the count's 1-2. Lawrence will look to make sure that doesn't happen a second time. Fastball is low and away, 2-2. There's some action up in the Kingfish pen, but McLaren's still dealing to Lawrence. A 2-2, ground ball up the middle. Bobbled by the second baseman, Lloyd. Tries to recover behind the bag. He doesn't have a throw to first. Lawrence beats it out. It's an error on Lloyd, who got around on the baseball, but then it kicked up on him at the last minute, trying to bring it into his belly, and never recovered on the bare hand jab attempt. So Lawrence aboard on the error the second time he's reached base. A leadoff base runner for the Rivets here in the top of the 7th. And in a game like this, it's going to be about how you take advantage of those opportunities presented to you by the opposition. Jimenez has 2 strikeouts tonight. He squares around to show bunt. He bunts it down the third base line, hard on the ground, bobbled by Leslie. Throw to first, throws the first baseman Westcott off the bag. Back-to-back errors for the Kingfish to start the 7th. Everybody safe. Lawrence up the second on the errant throw from the hometown product, Josh Leslie. Back-to-back errors from Kenosha natives to start the 7th. And now Brock will come to the dish with nobody out and 2 on. And now you got to try to find The right card to play here if you're Rockford. Brock has reached base twice, a single and a walk. We'll see if he shows bunt. Corner's coming up for Kenosha. He does show bunt, pulls back. The pitch is upstairs for ball one. First baseman Westcott is shrugging his shoulders at home plate umpire Paul Hess, wondering where that pitch was. But it was just a little high on Brock, who's up in the count 1-0. Shows bunt again. Next pitch, he jabs and misses at an outside fastball. And the count's even at a ball and a strike. Two errors on the board apiece now for each team. But Kenosha's have come in compound and given the Rivets a chance here in the seventh to take the lead. Brock squares again, bunts it foul first base side, and the count's 1-2. Bunt likely off as Vinny Torrencasa delivers the signs to Brock before stepping into the righty batter's box. 1-2 the count, nobody out. First two Rivets have reached here in the seventh, still scoreless from Simmons Field. 1-2 pitch from McLaren. Brock grounds it up the middle, back to the mound. Throw over to third for one. Leslie's relay to first on the short hop's not in time. Was scooped out well from Westcott, but they do erase the lead runner in Lawrence for the first out of the inning. Hardick, grounder straight back to the mound. 1-5 on the putout. Jimenez up the second, Brock to first on the fielder's choice. There is hot action in that Kenosha bullpen. Righty getting loose, but McLaren stays on to face Jake Bellata. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. First pitch to Bellata, fouled straight back. He's 0 for 2 today. Looking for that big hit. This might be Jake Bellata's last game in a Rockford Rivets uniform for the season. His temp contract slowly coming to a close. New Rivets looking to arrive in recent days. Trying to go out with a bang for the Rockford U product. 0-1 pitch, laced straight back to the mound. Snared again on the short hop by McLaren. To second for one, on to first. In time for a double play. Hard luck for the Rivets. They fortune off a couple of errors, but then two hard hit balls back to the mound. McLaren fields his position beautifully. It's a 1-4-3 double play, and the side is retired. No runs on no hits. 2 errors and 2 men left on base. Still scoreless as we stretch from Simmons here on the Rivets Radio Network. Set for the bottom of the seventh from Simmons Field. It's still scoreless
between the Rivets and the Kingfish, a real pitcher's duel. Kenosha has escaped by the skin of its teeth in the last two half innings. Two Rivets on to lead off the frame off a couple of errors, but a great play from McLaren on the mound, able to snare a couple of one-hoppers back up the middle and turn a double play to end the inning. Get the Kingfish a chance to take the lead here in the bottom of the seventh. Kyle Seabach still on the mound. He has thrown 91 pitches, so 9 more to play with if he wants to enter for another inning. Although in all reality, it's more like 19 to play with before he would have to come out after facing his current batter. Josh Leslie leads it off. He's 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Seabach. It's a first pitch pop-up. Right side, second baseman Sefcik calling for it. He gives way to the right fielder Hawkinson, racing over towards the fair territory line in shallow right. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Heart your mouth moment if you're a Rivets fan, but Hawkinson makes the catch. Sefcik ducks down in front of him to make way. And at the end of the day, it's 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 7th. So Leslie retired. Mangano, who has reached base twice in his first game as a Kingfish player, on a fielder's choice and a walk. Kempe still getting hot in the Rockford bullpen should Seabach have to come out of the game. First pitch up and into Mangano. 1-0 the count. One 0 count to the Iowa outfielder. The pitch. Fouled back 1-1. And 3 in the inning for Seabach puts him at 94. The infield is back for Rockford. Mebane is equal with the bag off the line at third. Lawrence is deep at first. Outfield straight away. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball breaking on the inner third. 1-2 that counts to Mangano. Just 1 hit for the Kingfish through the first 6 1/3 so far. Kyle Seabach has been excellent. 1-2 pitch. Fastball elevated foul. Seabach talks a lot about how Northwoods League is an opportunity for him to work his mechanics a lot more and fine-tune some things. And had a lot of struggle this season at NIU. The ERA north of 7. But he feels more free to tweak his mechanics in the summer. He's been doing a lot of work already with Tyler Fletcher, the pitching coach, and it has seemed to work like a charm through his first 2 outings. 1-2 is hit on the ground left side. Backhanded by Bellotta, shortstop. Throws taking his weight off, and he can't get enough on the throw in time. It's picked from Lawrence on the short hop, but an infield single for Anthony Mangano. Second hit for the Kingfish in the game. He'll be aboard with 1 out here in the 7th. There's nothing Bellotta could do on that play. He was super deep in the hole at shortstop, threw off his back foot, and Mangano had enough speed to beat it out. So 2 infield hits for the Kingfish, but the go-ahead run is aboard here in the 7th for Michael Dallas. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. 96 pitches, if you're wondering, for Seabach. Next pitch will be 97. Middle infield set to turn 2 against Dallas, who takes upstairs for ball 1. One 0. Fastball is fouled straight back. Seabach officially locked into this being his last inning pitch count-wise, but can still throw 10 more pitches. This one is fouled off, pitch number 100. 1-2. They'll throw back to first, runner back standing. Mangano is Leading off first aggressively, we'll see if he's in motion. Every run at a premium in this game, and they get him in between first and second again. The throw to first back to Lawrence. Now a throw to Bellata at shortstop, racing back to the first base bag. They'll head back to Lawrence, who applies the tag on top of Mangano, who dove face first into first base. He's picked off for the second time into this game, and he's aboard, rather retired for the second out here, the seventh. That's got to be frustrating for Kenosha, but Seabach slow to the plate. They've tried to take advantage of it in this game, but trying to steal first move on a lefty can be tricky, and Seabach's proven why with those two pickoffs. So now Dallas, the last hope for the Kingfish in the inning. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, left side. Mebin scoops on the short hop, ranging over from third. His throws a low one. It sneaks underneath the glove of Lawrence off the facing of the field level seating, bouncing back towards the field of play. So Dallas aboard here with 2 outs. They will call it an error on Lawrence, the first baseman, that allows Dallas to reach to extend the inning. It was a low throw from Mebin, but one very low to the ground. Lawrence just whiffed on the attempted pick attempt, and that's going to allow Dallas to reach and extend the inning to Gage Williams. Williams 0 for 2 today. Ground ball to second, also struck out. First pitch from Seabach, swung on and missed. Popped the glove with the low 90s fastball elevated in the zone on that occasion to Williams. Infield's all back for Rockford. Next pitch, breaking ball, tap towards third. Mebin comes charging in towards the cutout. His throw on the run, throws Lawrence off the bag. That time the error will go to Mebin. Was a really tough play running up the third base line. His sidearm release on the run, just wide out to the right, and Lawrence couldn't hold his right outstretched foot on the bag. So now back-to-back errors for the Rivets come with 2 outs in the 7th. And the go-ahead run is in scoring position for Ben Lloyd. Lloyd made the first of the 2 errors for Kenosha in the top half of the inning, but the Kenosha native has an opportunity to give the Kingfish the lead. Manager JT Scara is out to give the scouting report here to Seabach, unless it's time to make a move to the bullpen. 2's going over it, and it looks like they're going to trust Seabach here to get out of the frame. JT Scara big on trust with his arms, and he's going to ride Seabach here to try to get out of this tricky 7th inning. A vote of confidence to the lefty from Northern Illinois. Experienced arm, a senior by trade. Lloyd today's 0 for 2. He struck out, hit a comebacker to the mound. First pitch swinging, ground ball towards second. Sefcik back on it. His throw to first in time to retire the side. Kenosha get 2 to reach in the frame, but do not score. No runs on a hit, 2 errors, 2 men left. Still waiting to break the deadlock here at Simmons Field. 0-0 heading to the 8th on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the 8th inning is still scoreless from Simmons Field. New Kingfish arm to face the top of the Rivets order. Drew Pfeiffer on the mound for Kenosha to face Krittenberger, Sefcik, and Robertson, still looking to break the deadlock. Pfeiffer's 3rd appearance of the season. He has a 15 ERA through his first 3 innings of work in the Northwoods League. Stands at 6'3", 220 junior from Indiana State. Like kick and delivery to Krittenberger inside for ball 1. Krittenberger's 0 for 3 today. 2 ground balls to the shortstop. Also struck out into the 6th. Give you the final line on McLaren. 2 2/3. Extremely effective relief. Worked around a couple errors. 2 hits, no runs on 1 strikeout, no walks. Krittenberger watches the pitch dash inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Deep breath for Pfeiffer, who looks exclusively out of the stretch. A 2-0 pitch is sauced towards right field. Charging in the right fielder, McCoy thought about going for a dive. Instead, he lets it drop in front of him for a base hit. So Krittenberger on base to start the 8th inning. A huge stolen base threat for the Rivets. And that was a really awkward approach from McCoy, who is not an outfielder by trade. Thought about coming in for the dive on a blooper that didn't travel all that far after getting down, but instead elects to let it fall. So a leadoff man aboard for Luke Sefcik. We'll check on Krittenberger, who stole 3 bags last night here at Simmons Field. Was able to run very freely against this Kingfish team. He's 6 for 6 so far this season and represents the go-ahead run here in the top of the 8th. Sefcik today 0 for 2 with a walk. Third baseman Leslie's creeped way in on the grass. Sefcik swinging away and sends the ball foul right side. Meanwhile, on the Rockford side, the day is officially done for Kyle Seabach, who's eclipsed 100 pitches. But what a day it was. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. 0-1 to Sefcik. Pfeiffer will throw back to first base. Back with a head first dive is Krittenberger again. But Seabach continued to grow into his outing. I think that's the most impressive part. 3rd time through the order for Kenosha. He did not strike a batter out. He pitched to contact as the game went on and still missed plenty of Kingfish barrels. Sefcik takes inside. Counts at 1-1. We'll see if Pfeiffer can match that efficiency for the Kingfish, whose bullpen is all standing. Couple of sweatshirts on, most of them off, just watching on in a very tightly contested game. 1-1 nearly hits Sefcik, who contorts his body out of the way in the righty box. 2 balls and a strike. Pfeiffer's last outing came against Battle Creek on that last road trip for the Kingfish back on June 5th. Was really good through 2 innings and then ran into some trouble, allowing 5 hits and a walk and 5 earned runs across after pitching 2+. Krittenberger goes, breaking ball inside, throw down to second, sneaks into center field off the short hop from Lloyd, but not far enough to advance Krittenberger any further. But he'll take his 7th stolen base of the season in scoring position with nobody out here in the 8th. So now Krittenberger in scoring position as the go-ahead run, and a hitter's count to Sefcik at 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, still scoreless here in the top of the 8th inning. 7 strong shutout innings from Kyle Seabach on the mound tonight for the Rivets. And a Kenosha team that's been pitching staff by committee in this series continues to keep the Rockford offense at bay. Creeping in Leslie. 3-1's inside. Sefcik takes ball 4. A walk for Pfeiffer, and 2 on with nobody out again here in the 8th for the Rivets. First 2 reached in the 7th as well for Rockford. But a ball back to the mound and a double play ball stopped the rally. A mound conference coming for Williams, talking to his arm on the bump as Dylan Robertson vibes to "We Are Coming to Your City" in the on-deck circle. Shaking his head with the black batting helmet, he'll adjust his hair before stepping into the left-handed batter's box. Robertson, you can tell, free and easy in the middle of this Rockford lineup. Cool, calm, collected in the face of a potential go-ahead run situation here in the 8th. 1 for 3, singled the other way his last time up. Big hole on the left side of the infield if he chooses to use it. Leslie is way up on the cutout at third, and the shortstop Dallas is holding on the runner at second. First pitch to Robertson, hits him in the leg, and now they're loaded with nobody out in the eighth. Mount Conference ineffective. A breaking ball that just didn't break and hit the lefty hitter in Robertson. It's his second time being hit by a pitch already this season. First for Pfeiffer, and they're loaded for who else? Matthew Mebane. Second in the league in homers, first in RBIs. Has been quiet in the grand scheme of things this series. Just 2 singles for the power bat from South Georgia State. Nowhere to put him. Nobody out here in the eighth. First pitch to Pfeiffer. Inside. Nearly hits Mebane, who raises his hands out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Mebane has the bat come to rest on his right shoulder. Close off stance in the righty box. 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the knees on the outer third. And the count is 1-1. Mebane with the bases loaded this season has a grand slam on opening day in Kokomo. 1-1. Fastball fouled off, late swing towards the facing of the Rivets dugout in the on-deck circle. Johannes Hawkinson had to leap out of the way. Mebane a little late on that heater. He's down in the count 1-2. Critical juncture of the game right now for the Rivets. Looking to get the first run across in the top of the eighth. 1-2 count. Pfeiffer steps off the mound to readjust the grip of the baseball. Bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the eighth. Scoreless ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Matt Mebane. Breaking ball low and away, he takes. Williams points back confidently to his pitcher. He liked the spot. Mebane didn't chase. Already 1 strikeout tonight on the breaking ball. Bases loaded, nobody out. The 2-2. Breaking ball, tap back towards the mound. Past the outstretched glove of Pfeiffer. They shuffle to second for 1. The relay's not in time to first base. Fielder's choice cuts down the middle man, but Krittenberger comes home to score on the RBI fielder's choice. Rockford takes the lead, 1-0 here in the top of the eighth. Matthew Mebane does a job with 2 strikes, finding a way to put the ball in play. Up to third is Sefcik. Robertson erased at second. And now Johannes Hawkinson comes up with runners on the corners. 1 man up, double play in order. Middle infielders pinched back for the Kingfish. Hawkinson shows bunt, loops it straight up in the air in foul territory, and it's caught by the catcher Williams off to the right-hand side. Squeeze plays unsuccessful. Was a safety squeeze, so the runners weren't going. And that'll keep them on the corners now with 2 outs. Heads up play from Williams, who immediately threw off the mask and got out to the right-hand side. Was a bold strategy from Scarrow. Hawkinson has obviously been cold throughout this road trip, trying to find a way to get a ground ball down and maybe steal a run with the speedy Sefcik on third base. But was unable to get the bunt down. So now 2 outs for Trent Lawrence. 0 for 2 today, reached on an error, also walked. It's been a good situational hitter for the Rivets this season. 4 RBIs. Bringing a big insurance run here with 2 outs. First pitch from Pfeiffer. Takes a called strike on the inner third after not committing to the swing. Rockford with 1 across here in the eighth to take the lead. RBI fielder's choice for Matthew Mebane, his league leading 17th. He leads off first base, Sefcik off third. Next pitch to Lawrence, pulls off the fastball, 0-2. Pfeiffer looking to limit the damage and get the Kingfish back at the dugout against this Rivets bullpen for the first time tonight. Lawrence looking for the insurance, choked up on the bat. The 0-2 fastball just north of the letters. Was a good spot with 2 strikes, but Lawrence not chasing. Comes back set in the righty box. Rotates the bat off his right ear flap. The 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. He got him. Goes back to the gas upstairs. First strikeout for Pfeiffer. Side is retired, but the Rivets finally take the lead. Breaking through here in the eighth. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, and there were 2 left on base. Finally got a score. 1-0 Rivets for the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the top of the Kingfish lineup against the Rivets bullpen and Zach Kempe when we come back here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 8th inning at Simmons Field, and the Rivets are finally into their bullpen in this one. An RBI fielder choice for Matthew Meppen in the last half inning gave Rockford a 1-0 lead. And now with 6 outs to get, the Rivets turn to their bullpen in Zach Kempe. Freshman right-hander out of Notre Dame, 6'2", 205. 4th appearance of the season. Through 4 2/3, has allowed 2 earned runs on 6 walks and 9 strikeouts. Kempe has had 2 really good outings, and 1 outing where he struggled a lot. Last pitch, the Saturday game in Kalamazoo, where he was handed the loss after giving up 2 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning on 1 hit and 2 walks. Came out in a close game on the road and struggled to hit the strike zone. But now a chance at redemption here in Kenosha. Rivets looking for the split, but the Kingfish have the top of their lineup coming to the dish. Starts with Parker Stinson, who takes the fastball low for ball 1. Stinson 1 for 3, infield single. Got the first hit of the game for Kenosha back in the 6th. 2 straight out of the zone for Kempe as he's high with the fastball. This has been the issue for Rockford in these close road games, trying to settle down these young arms and get them in the strike zone. Kempe's up again, 3-0. Similarly, got away from him in Kalamazoo to a couple early walks in the outing and then a hit. No room for error in just a 1-run game. 3-0 pitch. Fastball low and away. No contest. A 4-pitch walk. That's what pitching coach Tyler Fletcher's been talking about. No contest ABs. Kempe not close to the zone against Stinson. And now the tying run aboard here in the 8th for James McCoy. Ken Kempe didn't get any work this season for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in his freshman season. Has been used a lot in quick succession here already in the Northwoods League. So certainly an adjustment for his arm, but he's got to find the zone here to McCoy. Very dangerous hitter. The first pitch is inside. It's off the glove of Brock. And on the wild pitch, Stinson's into scoring position. It was McCoy's first AB from the left side against the righty Kempe, and it was way tight. Had to shuffle his body out of the way. So it's a 1-0 count, and a base hit now ties the game for McCoy, who went 4 for 4 a night ago. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Quickly, body starting to shuffle out in the Rockford bullpen. 1-0, nobody out, deep breath. Kempe yet to find the zone, and he's way upstairs with a fastball. 2-0. Arms up in the Kenosha pen as well as Kempe finally finds the zone with a fastball over the outer third. 2-1 to McCoy. There's your first strike. He's quick to get back on the mound, trying to settle in and find a rhythm. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball, big swing and a miss. McCoy was a little tardy on the plus heater from Kempe. Sits low 90s, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Checks back the runner at second, now the pitch. Breaking ball, rather fastball, just below the hands. Taken by McCoy, the count's full.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. 3-2 challenge pitch. Kempe gets the strikeout of the red hot James McCoy for the first out of the 8th. Big first out of the 8th for Zach Kempe. So now 1 away for Drake Westcott. 0 for 2 today, has reached twice via fielder's choice and a walk. Kempe throws the first pitch just over top his shoe tops for ball 1. Tying run out in scoring position on second. 1 out. Fastball grounded foul first base side. 1-1 the count. Westcott, consistent hitter in the middle of this Kenosha lineup. Still without a hit this series. Fouls another back, and it's 1-2. Was robbed by Jake Bellotta out at shortstop on a double play ball. He leapt up into the air and stole a base hit away from him trying to go the other way last night. He's 0 for his last 9. Down in the hole here, 1-2. Kempe's pitch. Heater up and away, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Fastball sent the other way, backing up Jimenez. He has a beat on it, makes the catch a couple steps in front of the track. Westcott gave that one a ride the other way. It's the same place he left the yard on opening day against Kalamazoo, but it's nothing but a sharp line out for out number 2 in the 8th. And now a pinch hitter for the Kingfish with 2 outs. Kevin Bushnell, the former Rivet, will not stay in the game. Nick Iannatone gets his first action of the series in a big spot. Iannatone is a left-handed bat for the Kingfish off the bench. 9 for 36 this season, a .346 hitter. 3 doubles and 1 RBI. Kempe out of the zone with the first pitch, 1-0. One out. Fastball, swing and a miss. Iannatone hasn't played all series, so a little rusty coming off the bench. But a big bat and a catalyst for this Kingfish team. He had .413 this spring for Johnson County Community College. Committed to move on to East Tennessee State. 1-1 pitch upstairs, 2-1. And this is the type of guy you want here in this spot for the Kingfish. Professional at bat. Chance of let's go fish ring throughout Simmons Field. 2-1. Fastball, late swing, fouled off to the left, 2-2. Stinson reached via walk to start the inning. Advanced to second on a wild pitch. Strikeout on McCoy. Sharp flyout of Westcott. And now a 2-2 count to the pinch hitter, Iannatone. Kempe looking for a big final out of the 8th. Rivets lead 1-0. The pitch. Fastball is just inside. Rock held it there for a moment. Iannatone backed up off the plate. And it's a full count. Hometown kid Josh Leslie waits on deck. Big payoff on the way first. And time will be called. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled off again, in on the hands of Iannatone. A tough guy to strike out. 6 of them through 7 games this season in Kenosha, with just 16 through 60 games in the JUCO ranks in the spring. Next pitch fouled off again. Iannatone battling tough with 2 strikes. Last saw action in the Northwoods League Monday against Battle Creek. Was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. It was his first hitless game of the season. A single here ties it for the Kingfish. 1-0 Rivets. Here's the pitch. Spoiled off again to the left side. Kempy's been all over the zone here in a full count, but Iannatone battling tough. Plainfield native of Illinois against the Rivets here. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball's a called strike 3. Front door froze Iannatone, who tossed his bat towards the dugout, thinking it was ball 4. Bounce back Zach Kempy. Tying run stranded on second, and the Rivets lead heading to the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We'll head to the 9th. Still 1-0 Rockford here on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the 9th from Simmons Field. Rivets trying to close out the road stand 2-4. They lead 1-0. Heading to the 9th inning, the bottom third of its quarter scheduled to hit. Jimenez, Brock, and Ballata are the scheduled batters against the 4th pitcher of the night for Kenosha. Back-to-back games for Grayson Thurman. They're closing out last night's game for the Kingfish, picking up save number 4 of the season. He will pitch here in the 9th in a 1-run contest where the Kingfish trail, trying to chase the sweep of the Rivets. Thurman's only had 4 appearances this season. They've all been saves before tonight. He's allowed 1 run, which hasn't been earned, on 1 hit, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. He came in and struck out the side in order last night against Rockford. Did not face any of the batters scheduled to hit in this inning for the Rivets in Jimenez, Brock, and Ballata. What a strikeout for Zach Kempy to leave the tying run stranded at second base in the last half inning against the pinch hitter Iannatone. Really big bounce back from the freshman out of Notre Dame and a huge confidence booster. But Rockford's not over the line yet. So plenty of baseball to be played. Jimenez tries for the drag bunt in the lefty box, and the first pitch is bunted foul. 0-1. Jimenez 0 for 2 today. 0 for 3, I should say. 2 strikeouts. He did reach on an error in the 7th. He's choked up on the bat against the plus fastball against Thurman. And there's a disgusting breaking ball backdoor instead. It's 0-2. Rivets were talking on the bus, particularly Matthew Mebin, about how good Thurman was last night. Located his fastball perfectly, and the off-speed just stifled them. Jimenez just gets a piece of a fastball to stay alive, sending it well foul to the left side. Still 0-2. That fastball from Thurman said they were thinking, there's no gun here at Simmons Field, but they were thinking probably about low to mid-90s out of the hand, and then the plus breaking ball. There's the fastball again. Jimenez doesn't chase, well choked up on the bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jimenez bent at the knees in the lefty box, crowds the plate, closed off stance. Choked up on the bat. 1-2 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. He got him. 3rd strikeout of the game for Jimenez. First for Thurman, and 1 down in the 9th. There's no arms up throwing in the Rivets bullpen. Kempy be back out there for a 2nd inning of relief come 9th inning. So here's Owen Brock into the right-handed batter's box. He's reached in all 3 appearances today.
Fielder's choice walk and a single, but Thurman bounces in a breaking ball, and Brock goes all the way around for strike one. No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch from Thurman. It's another breaking ball. Buckles the knees of Brock, who's down 0-2. The man from Lynchburg has been lights out in this series on the mound. 0-2 pitch. Fastball's a called strike three. Paint on the outside corner freezes Brock, who's down on strikes. Thurman has faced 5 batters in this series, struck out all of them, and there's 2 down now in the 9th. Traverse City had a lot of quality arms in the back end of its bullpen last season. Of course, Evan Gates, who signed a major league deal and left the team mid-season, and then Joe Pace, the closer with the plus fastball out of Michigan. Might have found another Great Lakes East gem here in Grayson Thurman. That all-star jersey is calling his name here in the second week of the season as he grooves a fastball down the middle to Bellata. He's 0 for 3 today. Strikeout, ground down, and hit into a double play. 0-1, breaking ball just north of the letters, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. Devastating breaking ball, and it's already swing from Bellata. That pitch dove away into the lefty batter's box. The right-handed swinging Bellata didn't have a chance at making contact. It's 1-2. One pitch away from striking out the side, sending Kenosha to the dugout for the 9th. Here's the pitch. Fastball, it's hit on the ground towards second. First contact and play from the Rivets, but it's easy for Lloyd, who completes the putout for the final out of the inning. Bellata was hustling out of the box. That was a little closer than met the eye, but 4-3 on the putout. Side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. 1-0 Rockford. We head to the bottom of the 9th. And the Rivets, who've had their heart broken plenty of times on this road trip, are looking to salvage a split and close the door in the 9th. We'll be right back here on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 9th from Simmons Field. 1-0 Rivets. Zach Kempe to try to shut the door for a 6-out save. We'll have to go through 5, 6, 7, the scheduled hitters in the Kenosha lineup. And it starts with the hometown product, Josh Leslie. Kempe allowed a walk in the last half frame, and a wild pitch got it into scoring position with nobody out. But a line out in between 2 strikeouts saw him get out of the frame unscathed, including striking out Nick Iannatone, the pinch hitter, looking to end the inning. First pitch to Leslie. Out of the windup, fastball from Kempe. He's outside. Leslie today's 0 for 3, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Kempe kicks and deals. And now 2-0 to Leslie. Of course, it's been a tough road trip for the Rivets. 2 walk-off losses in Kalamazoo. One of those came with Kempe on the mound. And then a go-ahead run scored in the 8th by the Kokomo Jackrabbits. The 2-0 pitch fastball finds the outside edge to get him back in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Leslie. Here's the pitch. 2-1, fastball, outside edge. Evens the count at 2-2. Leslie's taken both. They've been perfectly located. Kempy's gotten himself back in the count, showing plenty of poise in this outing. Getting back into the count at 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on. 1-0 Rivets, bottom of the ninth. Trying to close the door. The pitch from Kempy, swing and a miss. He got him. Fastball outer third again. Leslie late with the swing. Kempy's third strikeout. And there's one down in the ninth. So now it's Anthony Mangano here with one out. He's reached base all 3 times tonight in his Kingfish debut on the season. Reached on a fielder's choice. He's walked and he's singled. Infield single out towards shortstop. Deep in the hole where Bellata backhanded it last time up. First pitch tight to him, 1-0. Infield's all back for the Rivets. Kempy's out of the zone again with the first 2 fastballs, 2-0. Playing with fire, falling behind hitters, but Kempy's been able to come back in the last few ABs. 2-0 pitch, and the green light given to Mangano, who might have expanded the zone, and it counts 2-1 after he swings and misses. So now the 2-1. Fastball up and away, 3-1. Gave him the green light 2-0. We'll see what happens now in a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Again, the runner at the plate represents the tying run. 3-1 pitch. Another green light, tap towards first in fair territory. Lawrence parallel to the bag, snags it off the ground, steps on the bag, and 2 down in the ninth. 2 really good executed pitches, but 2 pitches you probably don't want to swing at in a 2-0 and 3-1 count, and Kempy profits off of it. Retires Mangano for the first time. Michael Dallas is the last out for the Kingfish here in the ninth. Dallas today 0 for 3. Has reached on a fielder's choice and error. First pitch breaking ball from Kempy. Front door for strike 1. Rose Dallas. Rockford's had a hard start to the road slate. Kingfish still have not lost at home. Kempy's trying to change that. He went back to the off speed. Dallas not chasing as it's low and away for a ball. Rivets with a win here can get back to the 500 mark. Sole possession of third place in the Great Lakes East, albeit very early in the season. 1-1's just off the plate with the fastball. 2-1 here to Dallas. Next pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed. Kempy's 1 strike away as the slider dove away from the righty bat of Dallas. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1-0 Rivets here in the bottom of the ninth. Rockford trying to end the road trip with a win. And Kempy looking for the 6-out save. Set at the belt. Kick, steals, 2-2. Low in the dirt, blocked by Brock. Dallas doesn't chase. Counts full. Was an RBI fielder's choice from Matthew Mebane to get the lone run across. 7 masterful innings from Kyle Seabach. And now Zach Kempy looking for the 6-out save. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He got him. There's your ball game. Zach Kempy, a 6-out save, 4 strikeouts, and Rockford takes the split here in Kenosha. 1-0 final. Rivets win it. Rockford goes to 5-5 on the season. They finish the road stand 2-4. And Kenosha suffers its first loss at home this season, dropping to 6-4. So now the Rivets just within a game of second place. They'll head home to play the Kalamazoo Growlers the next 2 days. We're going to step aside quickly here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up from historic Simmons Field. 1-0 Rivets win it. We'll be back for the post-game recap here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back here at Simmons Field, Rivets take it 1-0 on a Thursday evening to salvage the split in a 2-4 road trip and a grinded out type of game where offense was at a premium, all things considered, for both sides. The story of the game is the pitching. Player of the game has to be Kyle Seabach. What an outing. 7 innings of 2-hit baseball. Looked like we're going to see some history, and a field with plenty of history in historic Simmons Field. He was taking a no-hitter into the 6th inning before an infield single got the Kingfish off the schneid from Parker Stinson, but he goes 7 innings, allows 2 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts, went just in excess of 100 pitches into that outing. Zach Kempy took it the rest of the way. But what a bounce back for him. These have been some young Rockford arms that have struggled on the road in big close game environments like this, the tough ones that got away from Kalamazoo. But Kempy managed to find the zone after being out of it early. Was a leadoff walk into the bottom of the 8th inning to Stinson, who got into scoring position with the wild pitch, and then he locked in 2 strikeouts sandwiched with a line out, and then 2 strikeouts in the 9th for 2 innings of scoreless, hitless baseball. Just 2 infield singles for the Kingfish in this ballgame. Offense wasn't great either for Rockford, but they had enough to get the job done. They had 2 on in the 7th with nobody out, were unable to score. Got 2 on in the 8th off of Krittenberger and Sefcik, and were able to bring 1 home on a Matthew Mebane RBI fielder's choice with the bases loaded after Dylan Robertson was hit by a pitch to load the bases with nobody out. Mebane's Northwoods League leading 17th RBI made it 1-0, and the Rivets didn't look back from there. Your final tally lines for Rockford, 1 run on 4 hits. Rivets made 4 errors for the 2nd time on this road trip. Not conducive often to winning baseball, but they were able to work around them thanks to some masterful pitching. They left 8 on base. For Kenosha, no runs on just the 2 infield hits, 2 errors. They left 5 on base. Win goes to Kyle Seabach. He moves to 1-0. Lost to Drew Pfeiffer, who drops to 0-2, giving up the run in the 8th. Zach Kempy gets your save for his first save of the season. Battle Creek will stay in first place. Kenosha down to 6-4. Rockford up to 5-5. They have still possession of 3rd place, just 1 game back of Kenosha. Kokomo and Traverse City duking it out for that bottom spot, along with Kalamazoo, as the Pit Spitters and the Growlers are deadlocked in a tight one right now at Turtle Creek Stadium. Game took just about 2 hours, 50 minutes of time, and that's going to do it for our time here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Once again, our final score, 1-0 Rivets. Hope you've enjoyed listening all road trip long. We'll be here for you on the Rivets Radio Network throughout the course of the season for road contests. But back on the Northwoods League Baseball Network tomorrow night as Kalamazoo comes to town. We'll be set for a 6:35 Central first pitch from Lonnie's Field at Rivets Stadium. I'm Andre Miguero signing off. Hope you've enjoyed listening and have a great rest of your evening.